Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So recently I've been getting a lot of questions about how I overlay handwritten iPad text over my videos while speaking with a transparent background. It's something I've used quite a bit in the past whenever I'm trying to explain something visually, written, or in a drawn way. And I just think it's a really interesting way to present an idea because it sort of feels like a magic, transparent whiteboard and you're behind it. And it's just a really fascinating way of presenting content because both you and the content are in the frame at the same time. And so I thought I'd make a really simple tutorial showing you how to do it because it's actually really simple to do, and once you've learned how to do it, there is so much you can do with it. And just in case you're worried because you've never touched a camera or edited a video before, don't worry because this video is for you. Okay, so in order to get this to work, the tools that you will need are as follows. You're going to need an iPad, an Apple Pencil, a note-taking app, black paper within that note-taking app, not grey, but black. That's really important. Now you're also going to need something that's going to help you record yourself talking. So that could be a professional camera or just a camera on your phone. And finally, you're going to need a video editing software. I'm personally using Final Cut Pro on my Mac, as that's the software I'm used to using. And by the way, if you do have a Mac, but you don't have Final Cut Pro, Apple actually, I think, gives out a 90-day free trial of it. And you can download that and use that. So even before you think about doing this iPad overlay effect, try and think of a concept or an idea or a story that you want to communicate that would be helped with the assistance of some visuals. Maybe it's a maths problem, maybe it's a graph, maybe it's explaining a scientific concept, maybe it's a process, maybe it's a brainstorm. And try and visualize what exactly that might look like in your mind. And take your time and think about it. Because honestly, whenever I make these kinds of videos, the majority of the time is spent in this planning process, thinking up what I'm going to do. And the clearer you are in what you want to communicate now, the easier the next steps are going to be. And so just for the sake of simplicity today, I'm going to keep the concept I go through very simple. So once you're ready to film, find a location to set up your shot. I'm going to use my YouTube space that I've been using for my YouTube videos, but just find a location that suits you, that you feel comfortable in. Now, get your iPad out. And as I said, in order for this effect to work, you need to be using black paper. And if you don't have any black paper, I will link some of my own black paper templates in the description, which you can download and use in whatever note-taking app you choose. But yeah, the note-taking app doesn't really matter. I'm using GoodNotes because that's the app I personally like writing in. So now I'm ready to film. So with my camera set up, I can hit record there, and then I can come to my iPad and then swipe down at the top right-hand corner. That opens up the control center. And then there is an icon that looks like that. And if I tap on that icon, it allows me to screen record. And so now I've got my iPad screen recording and I've got my camera recording, and I just need to explain my concept. And so once you're done, stop recording on both the iPad and your camera. And now you are left with two video files. The first being a video file of you talking recorded on that camera. The second file being a screen recording of your iPad. Get those uploaded to your computer using AirDrop or an SD card, and now we are ready to edit. Now we're going to edit this and put this all together. First things first, open up Final Cut Pro. And just in case this is the first time you're editing, do not feel intimidated by what you see. There are a lot of tools here, 99% of which we won't be using. So stick with me as we go through this. First thing to do is go to File in the top left-hand corner, go to New, and then select Library to create a new library. So that library that we've just created is the library that's going to hold all the footage that's going to go into this video. Now, in order to start editing the video itself, you need to create a new project. A shortcut for doing that is by pressing Command N, and then give your project a title, and then click OK. Now you can see an empty timeline. Now what you want to do now is take the video of you talking to the camera and drag it onto the timeline. I've currently got that stored in my downloads, so I'm going to drag it from there. After that, find the recording of your iPad screen recording and drag that on top of your speaking file. Now, take a few moments just to make sure that both the clips are aligned properly and synced up. Because if you remember, we press record at different times for the camera and the iPad clip. And so just make sure what you're saying aligns with what's being written on the screen. And also feel free to make any edits if you would like. If you made a mistake in talking, etc. If you place your cursor on top of a video file and press Command B, that cuts the clip. And that's basically all you need to know to make any minor edits. Now this is where the magic happens. Select the iPad screen recording clip, so that's the top one, and then go up to the top right-hand corner and find the blend mode selector. And in this instance, to get the effect that we want, we have to change the blend mode to overlay. And so select overlay, and there we go. All of a sudden, all the black around the text that you had just written disappears, and we're left with just a handwritten white text. How cool is that? I remember doing this for the first time and thinking that is incredible. However, we're not done just yet, because when you have a look at what that looks like, something still looks a little off. It's still a little hard to read the text, and there's a couple of reasons why. Firstly, some parts of this video are a little too bright, so it's a little hard to see the text. And secondly, everything in the shot is in focus, and so there's nothing guiding our eyes to focus on the iPad handwritten text. And so we somehow need to find a way to separate the text from the background. And there's two ways we can do this. Firstly, you can take a black screen, and so what I've done here is I've literally screenshotted a part of my black paper template, and then I've dragged it between the talking clip and the iPad screen recording clip. So it's between those two clips. And so now it just looks like the white text is on a black background. But then go up to the top right-hand corner and play around with the opacity and decrease it till you can still see a bit of the talking head in the background, but it's still dark enough so that the text pops off the screen. So that's the first thing. The next thing you can do is go to the effects section of Final Cut Pro, which can be found by clicking on this button in the bottom right. And under Video Effects, go to Blur, and click and drag the Gaussian blur effect onto your talking headshot. What this does is it blurs out the video. And that's great because it makes it a lot easier for your audience and the people watching your video to focus on the text, and it creates that separation that we were looking for. Once again, just play around with the amount of blur that you want and adjust it to your liking. And so yeah, that's basically it. There you are explaining a concept, and it's as though there's frosted glass in front of you and handwritten text is magically appearing on it. And obviously you can go in and you can tweak things. You can have sections where you cut out the effects and just have you talking directly to the camera in moments that you want to address your audience. But those are the basic steps I use each and every time to get this effect to work. Oh, and by the way, there's also another way to go about doing this that can be really useful when you are limited for time or trying to make a shorter video. And that involves doing the talking segment first and then doing the iPad screen recording after. So if you remember that video where I talked about photosynthesis and cellular respiration, I explained the whole concept, I think, in around 10 minutes. But then I went on to draw out the visuals for that explanation in around 30 to 40 minutes. And what I did was I brought the drawings into Final Cut Pro, and I used this tool that allowed me to speed up the video's playback speed. And the tool looks like that, and you can select custom speeds. And I tweaked it so it was matching what I was saying, and at the end of the day, so that it could fit into a 10-minute video. And so that's something you can start experimenting with if you're really clear of the concept you want to communicate in your mind. As always, I recommend starting with something simple, learning how to use the tool, and then adding complexity. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. I think it's a really cool effect, and whether you're a student doing a presentation or a video for school or university, or whether you're a teacher trying to create content for a course on YouTube or at school, I just think it's such an incredible tool that when given to the right kind of person with the right kind of creative mindset, they can do remarkable things with it. And yeah, if you do make any iPad overlay effect videos that are remarkable and you would like to share them with me, just tag me on social media and let me know, and I will gladly check them out. And I'm really looking forward to it. That's all for today's video. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week.